السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. I'm going to revise something about the questions on log and some questions on trigonometry for revision of the exam. Okay, I'll give you some examples. Write in logarithmic form 3 power of 4 equals 81. Then it will be log 81 to the base 3 equals 4. And if you have log 32 to the base 2 equals 5, you can write it as exponential form, which is 2 power of 5 equals 32. Okay. If log 125 to the base 5 minus log 25 to the base 5, and you need to write it as a single logarithm, you will write log 125 over 5 to the base 5, because the minus, you will convert it log 125 minus log 25. The rule is, the rule of subtraction is dividing the numbers. It will be log 125 over 5, which is 5, the base 5, and if the base equal the number in front of the log, it will be 1. Okay. Another one, express log 128 to the base 2 as a single number. Okay. Log 128 is 2 power of 7, and this is the base is 2. It will be 7 log 2 to the base 2, which is 7 times 1 equals 7. Okay. If you have an equation like 2 power of 3x plus 1 equals 5 power of x minus 2, and you need the value of x by using the log, you will take the log of the two sides. 2 power of 3x plus 1 equals log 5 power of x minus 2. It will be 3x plus 1 log 2 equals x minus 2 log 5, and distribute it 3x log 2 plus log 2 equals x log 5 minus 2 log 5, and put x together, will be 3x log 2 minus x log 5 equals negative 2 log 5 minus log 2. Okay, so it will be x log 2 power of 3 is 8 minus x log 5 equal this number, this. So x common, it will be log x common log 8 minus log 5 equal this expression, which is negative 2 log 5, negative 2 log 5 minus log 2, negative 2 log 5 minus log 2, and find the value of x, negative 2 log 5 minus log 2 divided by log 8 minus log 5, and find the value by using the calculator. About the trigonometry, if you have a triangle and this angle is 52 degrees and this angle is 100 and this side is 11, and you need to find the area of the triangle. For example, if this ABC, you have two angles and one side, then use the sine rule, which is 11 over sine 52 equals AB, AC over sine 100, and find AC, 11 sine 100 over sine 52. Okay, Then you have AC now, this one, okay? And you can find this angle 100 plus 52 and subtract the result from 180. It will be 28 degrees. Then the area will be area will be half times 11 times this side, the result sine 28. Also, if you have a triangle like this one, ABC, and you have the sides 5, 6, and 7, and you need to solve the triangle, you have three sides, then you can use the cosine rule. Cosine A equals cosine A equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine minus 2 minus A squared, sorry, divided by 2BC. And substitute. B squared will be 25, C squared is 36, minus A squared, which is 49, over 2 times 5 times 6. This is cosine A. To find measure of angle A, it will be cosine power of negative 1 of this answer, which is shift. Cosine power of negative 1 means shift cosine of the answer. Okay. Uh, what about the amplitudes? If you have y equals 5 sine 2x, the amplitude is 5 amplitude, and the period is 2 pi divided by 2, which is pi. Okay, so you can graph it as this is pi, sorry, pi over 2, and this is pi. So the period is pi from this one to this one. All this rotation is pi, and so on. And this is negative pi over 2, and this is negative pi, and this value is 5 because this is the amplitude, and this value will be negative 5. Sine x is, or cosine x is between negative 1 and 1, but we multiplied by 5, so the first or the positive value is 5 and the negative value is negative 5, which is the amplitude. Okay. About the trigonometric identities, if you have an example like this one, cotan x times sec x, how can you solve it? Cotan x and simplify or find out or choose the correct answer from the multiple choices. Cotan, you will write the value of cotan, which is cosine x over sine x, times sec x is 1 over cosine x. And you will remove cosine with cosine to find 1 over sine x, which is cosec x. Okay. And another one, if you have sine A equals 2 over 11, and A is greater than 90, less than 180, and cosine B equals negative 3 over 7, and B is greater than 180 and less than 270, find cosine A plus B, sine A minus B, cosine 2A, tan A minus B. Okay, you have to graph both of the angles and put each one in its quadrant. Sine A is 2 over 11, and sine A is in the second quadrant. Second quadrant, because angle A is between 90 and 180. So you graph this angle in the second quadrant and put the sine, which is 2 over 11, and find the value of the third side by using the Pythagorean theorem, square root of 121 minus 4 is 117, and this is the value. And find sine A, cosine A, tan A. Okay, and the angle B is in the third quadrant, and cosine is negative 3 over 7. So this is root of 40 or negative 2 root 10. And find sine B, cosine B, tan B. After you find sine A and sine B and tan B and the trigonometric functions of A, use the formulas of this one. For example, cosine A minus B is cosine A cosine B plus sine A. You have to know the formula. Sine B and substitute cosine A from this one, cosine B from this one, sine A from this angle, sine B from this angle. Okay? A cosine 2A, for example, it has three formulas, which is cosine power of 2A minus sine power of 2A, or 2 cosine power of 2A minus 1, or 1 minus 2 sine power of 2A. It's okay? And you can complete this question. Okay. If cosine power of 2x equals sine power of 2x plus 1 minus 2 sine x. How can we solve this equation? Okay, how can we solve this one? Cosine power of 2 is 1 minus 2 sine power of 2x. Will be sine power of 2x minus 2, 2 sine x plus 1. Okay, and put it there. It will be 3 sine power of 2x minus 2 sine x equals 0. And factorize it. Sine x common will be 3 sine x minus 2 equals 0. If sine x equals 0 or sine x equal 2 over 3, 0, you need to draw the unit circle, which is 1 and 0, 0 and 1, negative 1 and 0, 0 and negative 1. Okay, and sine means y. So this angle is 0 or 180. So this one is 0 or 180. And if sine x equals 2 over 3, this value is positive. And sine is positive in the first quadrant or in the second quadrant. Okay? And find shift sign of this one. Okay? Shift the sign of this one and put it as it. And in the second quadrant, it will be 180 minus this value. Okay? If this angle in the third quadrant, you will you will find it. If the third quadrant, you write 180 plus. If in the fourth quadrant, you write 360 minus. Okay? I'll give you another one. If sine 2 sine x minus 1 equals or plus 1 equals 0, then sine x equals negative 1 over 2. This angle is in the third quadrant and in the fourth quadrant, because sine is positive in the first asterisk, if you remember asterisk, or all students take coffee or something like that. So sine x equal negative half. The sign is negative in the third quadrant and the fourth. If sine x equals half in the first quadrant, then x equals 30. Then distribute this angle to the third and the fourth. The third will be 180 plus the angle equals 210 and 210. And the fourth will be 360 minus 30 equals 330. Then the solution set equals 330 and 30 or 30, sorry, 210 and 330. Okay, 210, which is this one, 210, 210, and 330. Okay, okay, thank you very much. And if you have any question, you have to call me. Okay, thank you.